Welcome to the Void. Here's Brian with Void Signal.
Hello again, listeners. So real quick, if you visit voidsignal.net, you can find previous episodes, playlists, the Void Signal Patreon, which is getting updated with exclusive content, and all of the tiers are the same, so you just pick a price point that makes sense for you. There's also officially licensed Void Signal merchandise and a Void Signal tip jar, where you can leave me $1 or something if you want to. Anyway, that's it. Yeah, anyway, hope you're good. Hope you're happy. Yeah, love you. Hello.
There it goes. You there?
All right. Yeah, I'm here. I got you.
Cool.
All right. Cool, man. Josh, right?
Yeah, it's Josh.
Gotcha. Just you today?
Yeah, just me, man.
Okay. No, that's fine. I mean, I I hope I didn't sound disappointed of like, oh, it's only Josh. Like, no.
No, I get it. Don't worry.
I wasn't sure how much of like the band was going to be present or what have you.
Yeah, it's unfortunately rare that we're all in the same room together these days.
Gotcha. No problem.
Everyone's everyone's super busy. So like whenever we're together, it's like, oh my god,
Yeah.
we did it. We're all in the room together because it's so awesome hanging around, with each other, and we're all like such good friends and shit. But
Right.
we're all like super, right? We're all proper adults and have schedules and lives and whatever. So
Yeah. No, I get it.
uh,
I mean, shit comes up. People got stuff to do,
yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Well, cool. Thanks for making this work, man. I'm glad
Yeah,
that
man.
it's been in the books for a little while. I asked you guys like a year ago or something like that, and a lot has happened since then in the battle tapes
Yeah,
world.
yeah, man. It's been a busy year for sure.
Record coming up in a month or so. Is that right?
Just a little over a month. Yeah, May 5th. Yep.
Gotcha. Texture, is that, am I recalling the name right there?
Yeah. Text. Are we rolling already? Sorry, are we recording?
Oh yeah, sure. Yes, we are rolling. Sorry. Welcome to Void Signal. I just start talking at people and
That's
uh
all good. Yeah. Yeah. Texture, May 5th.
gotcha. Release party for that?
Yeah, man. On May 4th, the Thursday before, is at Resident downtown Los Angeles in the Arts District.
Gotcha. That's cool. I'm excited. I've been eager for a new record from you guys. I've been enjoying the singles. I mean, I've been a fan for a long time. So I'm pretty
Cool.
familiar with what you've been making and everything. So I'm really excited about it. What can Battle Tapes fans kind of expect out of the record?
Some a little old, some a little new. I can. The best way I can describe it is the way it's been described to me, because it's a little tough being kind of in it. You know what I mean? It's
Sure.
hard to see outside of yourself when you're in the middle of the thing, and you have your own personal attachment and journey with it. But a lot of the the kind of the common comment I get from it is that it feels like it still feels like Battle Tapes, but like a new part of like the universe of it. Not just like not just an island off the shore, but a whole like new like world almost.
Yeah.
But it still feels tethered to the same core concepts and core vibes, but just expanded on.
Yeah. I mean, that's sort of what I might expect, I guess. I mean, you guys have, you've got a history of, kind of writing, really good songwriting, really tight songwriting. And so, like, these last couple of singles have been sort of, I don't know how to explain it. It's like whenever a new single comes out, I'm like, this is what I expected, but like maybe a little bit better than what I was expecting, if that makes sense. Like,
that's great. Yeah.
Like, you've got a certain style that like really shines through. So I'm excited to hear what this like next record ends up kind of sounding like and looking like. Any plans for like going on a tour or anything after that? Again, it comes back to like people have jobs and responsibilities, but
yeah, totally. No plans for a tour. If it makes sense to, we've never been a band that's been reactionary. In the way we release or whatever we do, we've never been like, we got to have a record out by next year, or we got to go on tour to support this record. It's just
right.
It's whatever makes sense, and we're up for anything. But as of right now, no tour plans. And just a lot of that simply comes down to economics, just simply because I don't know if you know anyone in bands on tour, but a lot of people are losing their ass out there just with expenses and. COVID's been lightening up, but if you have a band member catches COVID, you're stuck in Tucson for a week, or some and everyone's still got to get paid, and so it makes it hard to do, and to try to guarantee you're not going to completely lose your ass out on the road to tour to support a record, it's tough.
Yeah.
As much as we want to, we'd love to, just because like we want to go out and see everybody. And there's so many people that are asking that same question. We get at least every post on our social media account, regardless of what platform it is, like tour coming. And it's like, I hate to tell you, brother, but like I hate to let people down. Yeah. But it's also, it's just a logistics thing. As much as we want to, it's like it doesn't necessarily make sense to. But I would love it if it did, and if we could, it'd be amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And whether that's in the form of us going out as the headliner or us as a support act for a larger act, I mean, whatever form it takes, I'm more than happy to take it if the opportunity is there.
Yeah. I mean, no, that makes sense. I mean, like it has to make good business sense to be a thing that people want to go and do. So it's understandable.
Yeah, it's a whole thing, and as much as making art and music is magical, at the end of the day, the engine is still powered by money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, gotta get those bills paid. No, I get that, and that makes perfect sense. I mean, and it's, people are busy, being parents and partners and, people and all kinds of things.
Right. Yeah.
That's all. I mean, still, you guys have done a couple of like one-off shows. I was visiting with some YouTube videos of like some performances that you guys had done. Any plans to do more stuff like that? Like just kind of one-off shows, like local to you?
We're definitely doing, like I mentioned earlier, we're doing this one release show.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're just kind of playing it by ear right now. We want to do the show, just as a way to kind of ring in this new record and just with our fans and friends. And, it's a smaller venue, and that was very intentional. Just, we really like this venue in Resident. It's got an awesome like outdoor area, and they have food, and like, it's just a lot of times when we pick the venues we play, it's because we actually like going to the venue ourselves.
Yeah.
And, we've always been very adamant about, if a venue that we actually don't like to go to ourselves asks us to play, we never played it, just because like I can't in good faith like invite our people out to see us play to a place I don't even like going. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
It's important for us that everyone has a good time and it's a lot of fun. And I think we just want a more like intimate experience, and for this, and it's also like our first show in like 5 years.
Right.
And we just kind of wanted to make it like special and kind of like ground level, if that makes sense.
No, that makes perfect sense. And as a concert goer, thank you for doing such a thing, because like there's nothing worse than like, oh, I want to see this band, but they're at some bar that like I wouldn't go there if I was dying of thirst. Like I don't.
Yeah.
That's unpleasant.
Yeah. Daft Punk's doing a reunion show there, and I just can't bring myself to go, brother.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for doing that, because like there are places that I fucking don't want to go. Like it doesn't matter what band would be playing there. It's like it doesn't like.
Where are you based out of? Sorry.
Oh, I'm in Reno.
Oh, all right, cool.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, I definitely appreciate that you do that. Well, that's exciting still. I mean, doing the release party thing, that's going to be cool.
Yeah, we're going to do, I'm sure we'll do some DJ sets, and that's a lot more like, attainable. We're, around LA, but we can also like go to the cities and do DJ sets, and we'll play like, some like unreleased remixes of some of the stuff, and try to make that like something cool to go to that isn't just like us spinning other people's tracks necessarily, but let's play tracks that we like that are in the same vein and same spirit of what we're doing, but also like give people who come out to see us from those DJ sets some like, unheard exclusive kind of like versions of our songs.
Yeah. No, that's fun. I mean, that's a fun thing to offer. And you've got like a side project-y kind of a thing, like Skeleton Crew. Is that right?
Oh, that's so funny that like that got brought up again recently. I forgot about that. I mean, we called that just kind of offhand. It was just me and Riley, and we set up like drum machines and synths and stuff, and kind of like live remix, live synth drum machine shows. And we did a few of them back in the day, and it's up on our Wikipedia. Apparently, I didn't realize that until someone mentioned. I had known that, but I forgot about it, and someone mentioned it on our Discord recently. I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that." I don't even know like who put that up there and who even knew about that or whatever. But yeah, we just wanted to give it a different moniker than Valve, so people wouldn't show up thinking the whole band was playing, and it's just two goofballs on some synths, whatever. But
yeah.
But yeah, like that's like a third version of like there's DJ sets where we just spin tracks. There's the Skeleton Crew thing where it's like live synth drum machine stuff.
Yeah. And
then there's like the full band. But yeah, I would love to do some of the Skeleton Crew stuff. That stuff is so much fun to do, man.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I brought it up because I was checking the Wikipedia out today. I was like, hey, what else is there about this band that I don't know?
Yeah.
And
what is there that I mean, it's just stuff I don't know. Shit.
Apparently it's full of fucking shit.
No, but yeah, it's a lot of fun, man. I do want to do that again. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. I do have to shout out like the Battle Tapes Discord server. People on there are very friendly. I was chatting with some people earlier, just hanging out, like, and I was very relieved to discover that I was not the only person to have who had like gratuitously misheard Battle Tapes lyrics for rhyme or reason. I'm glad other people heard I'm an Alaskan trout as well. I was so relieved.
I love that, man. I almost don't even want to correct anybody. No, it's Alaskan trout, dude. Let it ride.
Yeah, dude. It's real. I don't even know. But I was so relieved to hear that other people also heard the same. But yeah, the people on there are very friendly. There was a question that somebody wanted asked. Rexy, I believe their name was wanted to know what your favorite dinosaur was, which is a great question. So I am passing that on.
Huh. You know, as a kid, it was the Triceratops. I loved it when I was like, like when you're like, the 7-year-old boy,
Yes.
who's into dinosaurs. I always thought the Triceratops was cool. Just like the horns and like the shield around his head and like. But as an adult, it's a tough call. You really appreciate all the various attributes of the different types of dinosaurs. Like, what do you not love a brontosaurus? It's all big and sweet, and but then T-Rex is so badass, and then
right,
little rat. I mean, they're all cool. So I mean, but you know what? I'm just gonna go with the OG Triceratops because they seem like a pretty chill dude.
Yeah, I mean that's a good choice. I mean you can't go wrong with Triceratops. I feel like this is a question with no wrong answers. Like,
yeah, absolutely. It just really more gives you insight to the person's values. I think.
Yeah, exactly. You're not gonna have somebody be like, "Oh, plesiosaur," and then you're like, "Ugh, idiot."
Yeah,
plesiosaurs. Like, no, that's
What a plebe choice, bro. Come on. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, I'm glad that we
dinosaur gatekeeping.
Yeah.
Just like...
yeah, I'm not into it. No dinosaur.
This is a biped room only, bro. You can't come in here.
Miocene era only. All right. Well, that's all great. So the band is, I mean, you guys have done, 4 EPs, 1 record, a bunch of singles, and then this record. Maybe it's too early to ask. The new album is like a month away, but like, what's the step after that? Like for you as a musician?
I am looking forward to getting back to actually making music. I know it sounds absurd, but for the last year, the record's been finished for a year, and
right.
this last, as of I finished in February of last year of 2022, and the rest of the time has been making videos and doing all the artwork and just everything but making music. So as silly as it sounds, we're about to put a record out. Like, I have not been making music for the better part of a year now. I've done a couple of remixes, and we've done, as a band, a few things. But actually getting in and just starting clean with a blank slate and just being, I want to try this, where I want to try just doing everything on a 4-track or some kind of conceptual, per song kind of thing where you're kind of exploring some new things or just playing around and sandboxing is something I can't wait to get back into doing again. Like, I keep seeing different gear, like, oh man, you know what would be a cool setup? Just an SP404 sampler and like this little synth and into a 4-track or something. Just like something stupid that that's going to inspire some whole new song. But yeah, like that, the whole root of like why we do battle tapes, and it's few and far between the times we actually get to do it because you've got to like complete a project or whatever. So I already have like a general concept for the next. I think we're gonna do an EP after this. And I have like an idea of like, a working title for it, just as like a touchstone for like what I want to go for with it. But, but I'm excited to start doing that and like get on the path of letting that flower blossom, because you always have this little seed that you start with that you're working with, or you have like an idea, an inkling of what you would like to do, but that always like is going to bloom into something you didn't expect. You can't really steer the ship as much. You just kind of like nudge it in certain directions. I always find if I steer too hard, I always end up on the shores of mediocrity. You just got to let it happen what's going to happen and help it along. Whatever's coming through from the ether, brother, is, you just got to you got to help it get there, not force it into like shoehorn into whatever you or your ego or whatever it needs. You just got to you're there as the conduit to help this thing come through the other side.
Sure.
So, yeah. So to answer your question, I'm looking forward to getting back into that and actually making music again. But this whole thing is this project. It is a whole art project where you do graphics and videos and social media posts and blah blah blah. But that's all part of it, and it's all fun. And I try to, even when I'm tired of that aspect and longing to get back to the actual core of making music and having fun with music, still want to enjoy all the processes of it.
Yeah, absolutely, that makes sense. And yeah, music seeds. No, I think that's true. That's a good analogy for it, because I mean it's kind of that way with most art, right? Is that it's like it's its own thing, and
Right.
you just sort of guide it, I guess. You nurture it.
Yeah, there's like a gestation period too, like where it's like
Right.
you try to conceive of a concept, and then hopefully it blooms into something that you like and you're proud of. But you just gotta like help it do its thing,
Mhm. This might be a little bit of a critical question. This is just the last thing I kind of want to address about the band is that, like I mentioned before, you know, the band has a certain style that, you know, you've iterated upon, and it's definitely, you know, evolved through the music, I would say. Do you find it difficult to sort of iterate on the same formula? And do you worry that Battle Tapes is or has already become formulaic?
I think I don't worry about that too much. You know, I think you can't. There's part of me that wants to go back to doing more like knuckleheady kind of just bonehead jams like we used to. Like, you know, there's some songs that are just a little more like, you know, I feel like this new record, and as we've gotten, I don't know, it kind of ebb and flows a bit. There's some songs that are like more sophisticated than others.
Mm.
There's some that are like just real, like what we call mitten fisting, where it's like you're just playing a keyboard or guitar wearing mittens, where you can only like kind of play one note at a time.
Mm.
Um, but at the core of it, you know, you can try to expand and try to draw new inspiration, but you can't quite shake what you are. You know what I mean? You're never going to get away from your sound, and that's not necessarily something I want to do. I like our sound. I like what we do, and I think I like the familiarity of it, and I like that when I listen to other bands. You know, I want to hear, you know, 30% new, 70% old. You know, with certain
Right.
things, like sometimes when bands go too far in one way, they kind of lose me, and I don't think I'm alone in that feeling. So yeah, I mean, I don't think I can stop being me, and I don't think we can stop sounding like when Riley and I write together, or Josh and Riley and I write together. Like, you know, it's just going to sound the way it sounds, you know. And again, you can't really shoehorn change, or you know, and also you can't like second guess what you're doing. You know, it's just going to be what it is, and if it resonates, it resonates. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So no, I don't worry about, you know, I don't worry about it being too formulaic. I try not to, you know, there's some artists who want to crack their own code, and like I figured out the code of how Kurt Cobain writes songs, and it's like, okay, cool, man. That's fine if you want to like, you know, dissect what you do and really get formulaic about it. But I kind of like flying blind a little bit, shoot from the hip, and just kind of do what feels good, you know. So
Sure.
not give you such a long-winded answer, but
No.
you know, to answer concise, like, no, I don't worry about it, man. I like what I do, and if you know, I like that it's us, you know, and I think our sound, whether it becomes formulaic or whether it becomes, you know, samey or however, you know, whatever positive or negative adjective you want to use for that, like, it's us, you know what I mean? It's kind of like,
Right.
that's just who we are. That's what it is, and that's awesome to me.
Sure. No, that makes sense. And I mean, I certainly don't mean it disparagingly. I just
Sure, yeah, no, I take it all in good faith, man.
Cool.
I don't think you mean anything negative by it.
Yeah, and no worries. It was a long-winded question, so it's, yeah, no, you know, you mentioned, you know, going on tour and stuff, and people getting sick. I just went to festival, you know, not that long ago, and I'm, you know, getting over like the festival crud myself. So it's
Yeah, that's the thing. Where'd you go?
I went to Dark Force Festival in New Jersey.
I haven't heard of that. What is that? And what bands did you see?
So it was a 3-day festival put on by like Vampire Freaks. It was Health, Rabbit Junk, Actors, Suicide Commando, Vision Video. I mean, like a ton of bands.
Cool. Yeah, those guys are all great. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty damn good lineup. So that was super cool, and it was always wonderful to, like, you know, get to hang out with people and reconnect and everything. You know, and it's wonderful to go to conventions and festivals and like meet people and hang out, but like, you know, the illness is is you know, almost to be expected afterward. So
yeah, for sure, man. That's always a thing. Like, you know, getting in large groups of people. I know, like, you know, I'm not sure if you're familiar with NAMM and AMM, like the music kind of industry. They show up new like instruments and software and stuff, and like they have one usually in January. I think it's actually this week now, but down in Anaheim, and they have another one in Nashville during the summer, which is like more like guitar focused or whatever. But like, yeah, everyone leaves, or like, I don't know if you've ever been to E3 or like CES or those kind of convention things, like, but like all those kind of things where people are coming from all over.
yeah.
You know, and making a fun little human petri dish inside a convention center or, you know, venue. Yeah, everyone walks over with the crud, you know, vitamin up before you get in there.
Yeah, that's right. I see I'm in Reno, so like we get a lot of people coming through here for Burning Man. So like,
oh,
you know, they'll have like decompression parties, like, you know, after Burning Man. And like, those are, again, you've got a lot of people coming from all over, bringing all kinds of germs. And yeah, it's to be expected, I guess, a little bit. But, you know, it's I want to say it's part of the fun, but it's not. I mean, it's not fun. But
it's par for the course, though. It's kind of like a known,
it's a hazard,
a known hazard going into it. Like, that's anytime I go to a festival, I have to like really like hydrate before I go and make sure I'm taking vitamins and staying healthy, so I can like fight off whatever grunge you pick up. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
I hate being sick,
dude, me too. And I'm like in the run up, I'm like, oh, let me make sure and take all my daily multivitamins and all my, you know, special magic pills and do everything, you know, everything right. Keep my hands clean. Don't touch my face. Like, you know, I was super careful, and, you know, still, you know, but that's okay.
I always think, you know, even when you do get sick, you know, you take all the precautions you want. When you do get sick, there is like, imagine how much sicker you would have been had you not done that, you know?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like, way worse.
It's not a binary output in that one.
Right.
Sorry, outcome.
Yeah, different gradients of sickness.
Absolutely. Yeah,
for sure. Well, another question I did want to put to you is just that, so you're, aside from doing battle tapes, like, what's the next step? What is the future of Josh look for? Josh Bradford, right? That's your last name?
Boardman. Yeah.
Boardman. Why? I don't know where I got Bradford. I'm sorry. I was like, oh yeah, it's a B fucking. I'm sorry. It was
whatever you want, man. You can call me. I'll be Josh Bradford.
We got Josh Bradford from Battle Tapes.
So next for me, man. Again, like, it's just, this band is my baby, you know. So it's gonna be this. You know, I'd like to do, you know, mix some more records. I want to do some more songwriting with some other people. I'd like to do some more collaborations, whether it be, you know, downstream for Battle Tape stuff or upstream for other people's stuff. You know, it's just good to like, we're getting to a place now where we can actually be more collaborative again and like get in a room with people, because fucking Zoom sessions ain't it, man. Like, I hate that shit. And, you know, our publisher was trying to push us to do that, and we did it a couple times. I just hated it. It's just, the vibe isn't there. You got to be in the room with somebody to get comfortable. And it's like, Zoom meetings just talking are awkward. Now you want me to try to write a song and, like, you know, be creative and artistic over that, man. It's just not the vibe at all. So I'm looking forward to getting in rooms with people and writing, and you know, again, like, I'd like to mix some more records, or at least just songs. I love mixing stuff. And production's always fun, just whatever. I think I'm looking forward to kind of just swimming around in creativity a little bit, and with no intention. You know, that's always the fun part, is like creation with no intention. You always like come up with the coolest stuff that way. I always find when I try to write with a purpose other than just fun, it's never quite what I'm looking to do, or I'm never like satisfied at the end of it, or whatever. So yeah, I'm looking. The next thing for me is that, you know,
gotcha.
Just creativity without intention sounds like the most fun thing right now to me. But I am looking to, you know, it'd be nice once get this record out and get the show done, and just to kind of take a minute to recharge and come back to it, you know.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, sorry. I was like, that's why I had the fucking Wikipedia up earlier that I was like looking for. I was like, know all the names, and then it was like, anyway.
Oh, you know, you can edit it out, whatever. You know.
Oh no, I'll leave it in. I don't care if I sound like a buffoon. It's realistic. It's people fucking make mistakes. It happens.
Do whatever you like.
Anyway, Mr. Bradford. It's. But no, that's awesome. I mean, I'm glad that this is like your baby and your thing. I mean, I've, you know, not to like get too deep or anything, but like, you know, I have been.
No, go deep, man. Get it.
I have been able to enjoy like battle tapes for, you know, a lot of my life. Like, it has been a staple in my home and in my vehicles of like, oh, we're going out for the evening. Like, let's put fucking battle tapes on. Like, that's like
that's amazing.
That's the soundtrack for it. Is, you know, we're gonna go have a good time. Like, battle tapes goes on. So thank you so much for that. Like, it is, it's enriched my life.
Thank you for letting us be that, man. It's that's the kind of shit that makes it worthwhile to me, is like this connection. Like, you know, we put this thing out, and then, you know, we kind of spiritually high five over it somehow. Like, you know, it's That's the kind of the point. I love the idea that we're the background or like the soundtrack for people's lives. That they're just going about their business, doing things they love,
Hmm.
and we get to score that for them. You know what I mean? Which I think is amazing. It's just
Yeah.
the best.
Oh,
You know?
absolutely. I speed a lot on the freeway. Battle tapes going.
Oh,
That's your fault,
yeah.
maybe, is what I'm saying. Is
Dude, we get that a lot. So I'm not surprised. I mean, I'm very into cars, and I've got a whole like racing sim setup in the studio here that I
word.
geek out on, and like so does not surprise me that it lends itself to driving vehicles at excessive speeds.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. And no, I agree with you about the like, meeting in the ether sort of a thing. Like, you get to
Yeah,
share a moment together. I think that's what's so great about sharing music with other people too, is that it's like you get to, for a minute we're like in the same space for a second. We get to experience a thing together.
yeah.
I think there's something to be said for that. I did want to ask though, the follow up is so is that something that you do like often just in your spare time, is just like doing racing sims?
Oh my God, dude, it's all I want to do. Yeah, I love it.
What's your
Yeah,
what's your go-to? Like, I'm not a racing sim person, but
Gran Turismo.
okay.
Just like I may get into the PC world. I do play Assetto Corsa Competition. It's mostly like GT3 racing,
Gotcha.
but that's like I was looking at going PC and like doing triple screens and all that. But then PSVR came out, and it's amazing with Gran Turismo, man. The
Yeah.
VR is crazy. So yeah, I play a lot of Gran Turismo, and do a lot of the like weekly competitive races and manufacturer series and all that. But yeah, that's
Gotcha.
my outside of the band and making music. That's my thing. That kind
Gotcha.
of keeps me sane.
Gotcha. Okay. Good choice. Good answer. I've seen like the crazy, on Reddit and things, like the crazy setups that like some PC enthusiasts have for their like racing setups. And it's like, I built my PC into a car dash, and like
Oh
the
my God, yeah.
screen is the crazy shit. And I'm
Dude, have
like,
you seen the guys like in the trucker simulations? They get full on like big
yeah.
rig, like Peterbilt Mack truck dashboards and shit. Like,
It's so weird. It's so
dude,
weird, man. That's
those
crazy.
guys are having a blast, man.
Yeah.
They are loving it. That's why I love seeing those dudes. Like I love seeing that stuff where like that's absurd, but that guy is having the time of his life.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I've that, and like people who play stuff like Elite Dangerous and like some of the other space sims where they have like little cockpits they sit in and shit, and like,
Love it, dude.
crazy. Crazy. I
Yeah, I
love
love all the flight stuff too. Is great too, man. Like
it.
that's like VR for the flight shit is like on some other tip too, because when you're dogfighting, you gotta like look around and behind you
Yeah.
and stuff like that, and like that's on some other tip too, man. There's some awesome like flight cockpits out there that dudes I'm not sure if you're familiar with DCS, where it's like
Oh yeah.
it's one of those kind of things where after that you could fly like a A10 Warthog or something, just from playing the game.
Yeah, yeah, the crazy detailed. I was really into War Thunder for a little while, playing that a lot.
Is it a tank game?
It's like tanks, naval boats, and like jets and
Right.
stuff like that. So people like,
Yeah.
the jet mode, people like take like super fucking serious, like flight sticks in the whole 9 yards. Crazy. It's crazy the levels, and it's awesome though. Like I'm glad that people are able to like sort of just like have experience their favorite thing in the optimal way to enjoy it, I guess.
Well, I mean, just the fact that you can, like, I got in really heavy into this during the pandemic just because I was like, going crazy in my house, and it's like,
Yeah.
I need to do something, and like, I'm not good at like relaxing or sitting still for too long, so I kind of need something to keep me occupied and going, and like, so I got, eased myself into racing sims. But yeah, it was definitely like, I can't believe this is like, as a kid, you dream of having like a Daytona USA arcade machine or something like that,
Yeah.
in your home, but like, this is a million times better than that. It's so realistic, and the force feedback's so good, and you get a butt kicker or whatever in there for like the haptics when you're like hitting. You can feel the car shifting in the seat and stuff, and
Yeah.
you feel the ripple strips when you run over them and all that. And like, just the immersion is like beyond any arcade I had growing up. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And it's in your home. You add throw in like a great TV or a VR headset. It's like, forget about it, man. It's amazing.
and it's like it's good. It's a good long-term investment on entertainment. You know what I mean? Like you're
For
setting
sure.
yourself up to enjoy a lot of things.
Yeah, like literally, like I got a PS5,
Mhm.
last year, and like I've played like the only game other than Gran Turismo I think I played on is like Rocket League, just for
Mhm.
fun every once in a while. But like, yeah, it's like I've only played that game on it for the most part.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it's like, yeah, I mean, but I'm fine with that. It's great, like whatever. Like, but yeah, this is funny. You get like a whole game system for just one game.
Yeah, that's a thing I have not done in many years, just because I've got I switched from console to PC gaming, and so ever since then it's like, well, I'm not gonna buy a console for a single game, just because like I feel like there
Yeah,
hasn't been, odds are good if you're on PC, you're probably gonna get a port of it if it's popular enough, kind of a
yeah. I
thing.
mean, dude,
So
if they brought Gran Turismo over to PC, I'd absolutely switch to PC.
yeah, for sure.
Just so you can do like triple screens and all that shit. I mean,
Yeah,
again, like I'm pretty stoked in the VR, but three screen sounds great. Also, like you get like the seats that move and all that kind of stuff too, which is incredible.
yeah.
But
Moving
you know,
seats. It's crazy.
also this, the weird thing about this generation of games, though, like I don't feel like when, obviously like when PlayStation 2 came out versus PlayStation 1 or 3 versus 2 or 4 versus 3,
Mhm.
it felt like a huge upgrade. It felt like we are in a new age of gaming or whatever. We're with
Mhm.
5 and whatever Xbox is called these days. Like it just felt like I don't know, like a half-assed crossfade into this generation where it's like, yeah, I guess it looks better. It didn't just
Yeah,
it doesn't feel as like holy shit as it did before. Where this is like
yeah,
it's all on PlayStation 4 also. It just looks not as quite as good, or whatever.
yeah.
And I kind of miss that. I miss like the big upgrade of like the next generation of console. I don't
Mhm.
feel there's any like exclusives on any of these systems like you have to have.
Yeah. I mostly feel that way. I mean, like I can kind of sympathize with Xbox owners just because like, the Spider-Man games on PlayStation look rad.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I mean it's
yeah,
it's all those are awesome. But again, it was on PlayStation 4. I'm not
yeah.
necessarily talking about Xbox versus
Oh,
PlayStation, but more
sure.
like Spider-Man on PlayStation 4 was great. It's fucking awesome. And on 5, it looks better, but it's still the same damn game. You know what I mean? It's not like
Yeah,
it's not like it's something that can't be done on 4 with relatively less graphics. Like yeah, it's got
yeah.
some what's it called? Geez, the escapes me now. Like the lighting and
Oh,
reflections and stuff.
like ray
Ray tracing.
tracing. Yeah,
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 yeah, it's that ray tracing. That looks great, but it's like it's still like the same game,
yeah.
essentially.
Yeah. I feel like the newer hardware just hasn't really been put to the test quite yet. Maybe I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah. No,
I
I.
will say
Mm,
they just dropped a 120 hertz upgrade on Gran Turismo 7, so like the frame rate's like bananas right now. It looks awesome. Yeah,
nice.
so we're getting like little increments like that,
Hmm.
and it does look. I was playing Gran Turismo 7 on PlayStation 4 for a minute until I got my 5,
Hmm.
and I mean it's an upgrade. It looks better, but again, it isn't that same like it's not like when you played Metal Gear 2 versus Metal Gear 1. It's like
Right,
that was
right.
a fucking upgrade, man.
Yeah.
Jesus, we're on a whole new thing now.
It's also exciting to me just for console people to not be locked to like 30 frames per second anymore, or
Yeah, dude.
whatever low number it was. Like, people on consoles with like 120, refresh rate on their game. That's awesome. That's great. Like, man, high frame rates
Mhm.
is like is how to play games. Damn it. Like,
Yeah, I'm just giving the best experience possible. And like, yeah, look, if you really want to go there, and you want to drop the cash on it, and it means that to you, go PC, man. It's great. Like,
for sure.
I'm just like get in where you fit in and do what you like doing. The gatekeeping is so like absurd to me. Like, why do you care?
Yeah.
Not you, but preferably like, why do people? Who gives a shit what system you're playing on? Just people just trying to have fun.
Yeah. Whatever makes sense for your budget is the one that's right. Is,
Yeah, or and even like for me, it's like the simplicity of a console. I don't
yeah.
want to have to think about like clocking my computer and shit like this. Like,
Hmm.
bro, I'm like, the studio computer is enough for me to worry about right now.
Yeah.
Just make sure that and my personal laptop work is enough. Is all I need. When I go to play a game, I just want the shit to work. I want to
Yes.
put the download the game and just go. I'm not worried about like
Yeah.
I got to upgrade my computer to play this game now. What
Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes sense. I mean, like, PC gaming, you're opening yourself up to like a whole like a realm of things you gotta know about.
Yeah, but I
Well,
will say that's what's
mm,
appealing about the handheld Steam. Like the
oh yeah.
that's really rad. Like because again,
Hmm.
like that, you kind of know what's going to work, and you're not rolling the dice on every game.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
there's a consistency to it.
Yeah, and reviews for it I mean, it's a thing that one of those products that just everybody says it's great, like it just works kind of a thing. So
Yeah, just give me Portal 3, man. Come on, let's go.
yeah, right. I will
Dude.
say, like, I've never played CS:GO, but like that announcement for the new Counter-Strike, with like the smoke grenades and shit, I was like, maybe this is a thing I have to play now. Like, this looks kind of rad, but
That's the OG, man. I remember
yeah,
like back in the day, some friends of mine like really being into that. I mean, I'd watch them play. I never got into it, but like
yeah, I
it's one of
never,
those things where all your friends are so good at it, like you can barely even keep. Like, you know what? You
yeah.
guys go ahead. I'll watch from the sideline.
Same. I was always like, I'm too shitty to play this. Like, obviously.
Yeah, it's no fun. Yeah,
uh,
yeah. I have friends that play Warzone. I'm just like,
yeah.
guys, I can't even live long enough to even figure out how to play the game. You
Oh
know?
yeah, battle royales that's a whole genre of game that I've aged out of. Like I'm too old for it.
Yeah.
It's
Well, for me, like with a lot of, I mean, and this doesn't really apply to battle royale. I think I realized too, like it's hard for me to get into like games with a storyline. Like all my gaming is on borrowed time, where it's like, all right, I got 15 minutes, let's get in there. You know, it's like
yeah,
that's one reason why the racing sim's so appealing is because like I can get 5 hot laps in real quick. You know, versus like, wait, where were we? Who did what now? You know, like trying to
yeah.
keep up on what the storyline was. Like coming back to like Red Dead Redemption after 6 months is like, I got to start over again. I don't even remember what happened. You know?
Yes. And then when I'm starting over and I'm seeing something I've already seen, I'm bored. And then I don't.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Right. And then I'm like, oh, I remember all this, but now I don't care. So it's yeah. Well, I don't want to keep you too long. The last question that I wanted to put to you for the podcast is just what's something that you've been enjoying recently? Just something that you've been really excited about when you get up. I mean, obviously playing Gran Turismo, but but beyond that, like, have there been any books or movies or music, something that's just had you like super jazzed?
It's gonna sound boring, man. I've really been getting into Stoicism, like reading books on Stoicism, like Marcus
Uh,
Aurelius
yes.
meditations and stuff like that.
Hmm.
I just find that really interesting and really calming. I don't know, like some of the stuff is just like
Hmm.
really helps um, quiet some of the noise, and you know, just getting into like getting up early and going to the gym and meditating, and then reading, you know, some chapters on Stoicism and stuff, different books. That's been really exciting to me, and it's such a chill, unexciting, non-flashy thing. I think it's a
Yeah.
nice contrast to loud music and loud video games and all that. You know, it's a nice counterbalance to that.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good answer. I've read a lot of the Stoics, and it was something that I think I have my copy of Meditations by Marcus Aurelius like here in this room right now. But it's a
And you know, the
wonderful
fun thing,
book.
yeah, it's amazing. It's you know,
Mm,
it's things I've you know ventured in the past, and every time you come back to it through you know after X amount of years of life experience, it
mhm.
means something more or deeper or different. You know what I mean? You have a new appreciation for some of these things, and you know it keeps there's a depth to it that you may not be able to see when you're 20, and then
Yeah.
you see more when you're 30, and as you get older, you start you know
Mhm.
it means something different, which is really interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's also interesting to read it, specifically Aurelius and like the meditations, just because like there's a lot of very sort of universal brotherhood sort of
Yeah,
vibe in a
absolutely.
lot of that kind of stuff. And it's like this is being written by arguably the most powerful man in the world at the time.
Yeah,
It's
that's what's so like absurd about it. It's like
mhm.
you know, him versus Nero. It's like polar opposites. It's just like
Yeah, a
you
leader
know,
that's very thoughtful and like considers himself, a citizen of the universe and things like that. Like that's where I think the strength of like reading, stoicism lies, is that it's like, this is imagine having a leader so articulate and thoughtful. Who what are the
oh,
odds?
jeez,
Amazing. No,
yeah,
I think that's a really good answer. I was also really super hard into, another Stoic, but Cicero. I really enjoy reading a lot of Cicero and a lot of his ideas. Even if he was a little bit of a prick from the sound of it. I mean, like, it's cool. It's whatever. Cicero is Cicero. But no, that's a good answer. The
well, you
Stoics are
know,
good.
knowledge comes from the kind and the weak and the angry and the you know,
Yeah.
good knowledge is where you find it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It takes all forms and goes through all different types of conduits.
For sure.
So yeah, it's there's a lot of artists who make music I love, but I can't stand them. So you take the good with the bad.
Yeah. Ooh, do you want to get spicy and drop the name of one on here?
Oh yeah, Josh Bradford, that guy.
Yeah, Josh Bradford, what a loser. Josh Bradford. I don't even know where the fucking name came from. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But okay, well, just to answer the question myself as well, the thing I've been enjoying recently is just, I don't know, I'm excited about what comes next for Void Signal. I was so excited to finally get Josh Bradford from Battle Tapes on the show.
How you even stomach that guy for the length of time you did, I don't know. It's beyond me, but man, good on you. The stoicism's working, brother.
Yeah, it is. It keeps me strong. But no, it was. I was really looking forward to this. I've got doing another trivia episode soon with Morris Black and his tour mates and stuff like that. And,
nice, dude.
Exciting things planned. Like, stuff I'm looking forward to. Like, this festival was really good for, like, networking shit and, like, that. So it was nice to kind of be riding high off of that. But, yeah, that's what I've been enjoying recently is just sort of what's to come. Oh, also, last thing I'll mention.
Sure.
The show Beef on Netflix. The A24 show with... forget his name, but it was so good. It was wonderful. It's a great, there's a million things to watch and people have varying amounts of time. But, if anybody's looking for something to watch that's engaging, that has thoughtful, well-rounded characters, Beef is...
Wait, is that the movie with Ali Wong? Is that the one you're thinking of? Beef?
Yeah.
Or is it a TV show?
Yes.
Ali Wong, Steven Yeun?
Yes, exactly right. Yeah.
That looks cool. Yeah, I love her, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's really good. You will enjoy it. But all right, man. Well, that is it. Keeping it short and sweet. But yeah, thank you so much for making
no problem. Man. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah,
thanks for the invitation, man.
I appreciate it. All right, awesome. Well, I will let you go, but thanks again, man. I really appreciate it. It was
no worries, man. Same.
For all the music and everything. Thanks so much, and
no worries.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah, dude. Have a good one. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Later.